welcome back to our conversation with Sadie Miller. And
Hi.
I'm going to talk about the big news from Big Finish, that you are taking on the mantle of Sarah Jane Smith.
Oh gosh.
So quite daunting then.
Yes, absolutely. When they asked me, I don't know, someone sort of suggested to me that they might be asking me, and I thought, no way, that's never going to happen. So I was very surprised, really. And my dad actually called me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "Oh, I've just seen this thing on Big Finish that you're going to be playing your mum's part." He said, "I thought you were doing something else in it. I thought you were just doing a little something in it." So I think even my dad couldn't believe that they'd asked me to do it, really. So yes, very humbling.
How did they approach you? Because I can imagine Big Finish would have wanted to be very sensitive about asking you to do the role, to be honest.
Oh yes. So the producer David sent me an email. Oh lovely, sorry, that's my 3-year-old Theo again. Yes, David just sent me an email and he just asked, this is what they were looking to do. It was just for one story, would I consider doing it? So I did ask my dad, even though he doesn't remember. And once he gave his approval, then it was all go, really. So it happened all quite quickly. It's been a bit of a blur.
So it has all been recorded. You've done the episodes.
It has, yeah. We did it back in November, so just snuck in there before all the lockdown nonsense. Yes.
Do you find yourself quite a physical actor on audio, or do you tend to stay quite static?
Gosh, I think it depends. I think with the story that we did, that it's quite a physical story. There's lots of movement and running and lots of things going on. So I think that was definitely a much more physical performance. There was quite a lot of eating in it as well, which was quite fun. Oh, lovely. Okay, sorry. But it was lovely. The way that the studio was, I can't remember where it was now. I think it was Wadhurst. The studio is very open, so you're not just in your own little booth. You can all see each other and speak together. So it's almost like having a stage read through as well as it being a radio recording. So that was great. Theo, can I just finish this piece, darling? I won't be a minute. Okay. Yeah, sometimes a ghost lives in a studio. A studio is a ghost home sometimes, darling. All right, Theo, I won't be long. Okay. All right, I'll speak to you in a minute. Sorry.
I'm loving the cameos. It's great.
I know. I'm so sorry. Crikey. Yeah, but no, and I think Nick Briggs, as the director, sort of encourages you to try lots of different ways, and he's quite open to it being a bit more physical and trying to have that interaction that you may have in a more traditional TV or film environment. He tries to get that dynamic still on the radio, which is great.
And so, did they manage to get everyone together in studio? Because that's not always possible, I gather.
Yes, we were all there. So we recorded, I was only there for 2 days, I think Tom probably for a lot longer, but we were all there during those 2 days, which is great, really. And it's, I think, sort of in the moment when you're not recording that you almost build those relationships. So Chris, who plays Harry, obviously I'd never met him before at all, but we had the time to sit and chat in between, and I think that was very informative, very helpful for the performances, really.
And how did you find working with Tom Baker?
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, unbelievably intimidating though to be playing Mum's role, and he was there. But he's he's great, and he's very generous, really, and he's always looking for new ways to explore and push it that bit further and find the humour. Find, I don't know how to put it. Almost, I think he's just so good at what he does, and he does it so naturally that he sort of brings everyone else along with him. So I think having him involved just elevates the whole production of it, really. And I suppose he's been doing it such a long time now that no one knows the universe of who like Tom, really.
What was your approach to playing the role? Because I'm assuming you want to make it your own as well.
Oh yes, well, I think because it's just audio, it was important for me that people hear Mum in it, if possible, because I think she is obviously the definitive of the character, and if she were here, obviously she would be doing it. So I did try and think about how to change my vernacular to reflect that. But at the same time, I didn't try and watch a lot of her, not recordings, her episodes of it, sorry, because I didn't want to try and ape her performance, but I definitely wanted there to be echoes of Elisabeth Sladen in there. But I've not heard any of it, so I don't know what it's like. Oh gosh, it might be dreadful. So we'll just have to wait and see. Oh dear.
I'm sure we'll be fine. We will have to wait and hear what it's like.
Yes, wait and hear. That's well, quite right. Yes, not see. Sorry.
Now, the news story with you as Sarah Jane isn't the first time you've worked at Big Finish. 15 years back, was it, where you did the Sarah Jane Smith audios as Nat?
Yeah.
Again,
a long time ago now.
We talked about working with your mother as a child, but how was it working with a family member as an adult? Because we all know that family dynamics are interesting, and then you put it into the work mix, it becomes even more complicated.
Oh yes, I mean, she was very supportive and very helpful, and my dad obviously as well. I don't remember a lot of it now. I remember it just being, oh gosh, it sounds dreadful to say, but just so fun really, and just really enjoyable. And I don't know, it's hard to explain without it sounding a bit wanky. Also, I shouldn't really say that, little boys in the garden. But because I think mum was so good at being able to bring that part of herself into a little box when she was acting, that when I was working with her, it wasn't even like she was my mum, it was like a colleague almost. So we had such a separate relationship, because she was just so good at what she was doing, that it was just really enjoyable and really good fun, and you could just let loose really and push the boundaries of the performance really. But no, she was great and very supportive.
Now, you're also a writer. You've written novels and short stories and such like. Do you think you've got an audio drama in you somewhere that you could offer Big Finish?
Oh gosh, I've never thought of that. I mean, I would most definitely give it a go. A lot of my writing now is actually very boring, really. It's more sort of business-based, search engine optimization content and that sort of thing. But absolutely, yes, I would love to write something for Big Finish. I think people are climbing over themselves really, though, to get on the Big Finish writing roster.
Oh, well, we'll find out what happens there in the future. Sadie, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Oh, and to you, thank you so much.
No problem, really enjoyed it. And again, we're getting a snippet of family life as well.
Oh yes, oh golly.
I'm going to let you go because you have other pressing engagements. I've got to say, this is certainly the most unusual interview I've ever done.
Oh no, oh gosh.
No, in a good way. I've loved it.
Oh good. Right, so are you going to say goodbye, little man? Good boy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving up your time.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.